Mike here, Money, Marriage, and Media, and today we are back with Anton Daniels asking the tough questions with Brittany Renner. The title is, I've had sex with all the guys I've ever crushed on. I have a great list of men. Oh boy. Yeah. This is, you know what? It'll be interesting to see how she justifies this. You know what else is interesting? Us getting that goal of 600 subscribers. Like and subscribe, guys. Make sure you turn the notifications on so you know when we drop in more content like this and other videos. Let's go ahead and get going.
Elf.
Why do you talk to guys that are more visible, though? I give it.
But I actually haven't been talking to guys that are more visible.
Well, no,
They've
no.
been
I'm just going by off
shitless
the
of me since I've been single.
I'm talking about like in the book, right? A lot of those guys that reached out to you were of a lot higher caliber of a normal guy.
I have a great list.
Well, okay, let me back up. Let me back up.
Like I got.
What do you mean you got a great list?
That's not something to be proud of.
A lot of high status men. I feel like I've had sex with all the men I ever crushed on in life. Seriously, there's probably some old tweets people could pull up, saying whatever, but that was then. Because you know why?
Can I get a drink?
Yeah, you need one. And this is what part of the problem why she's having so much trouble now is because all of her past exploits are visible. So you end up in this situation where guys can see your past mistakes. This is the problem with women becoming famous before, while you're single. All your mistakes are up under a microscope. So, the guy who is willing to, for most women, it's not an issue because the guys can't see their past like that. There may be some hints of, what she did in the past, but it's different when it's documented and it's on a replay. Unfortunately, it has a similar effect of, this is why porn stars don't get married. It's because their exploits are well documented. And you got it as a guy, there's a lot of embarrassment that comes with that. So, the right guy for her is going to be somebody who can overlook all that, who is going to be able to deal with, the backlash of being with her. Now, does that mean it's a death sentence? Again, no, it doesn't. What she would probably benefit from is, well, you know what? Let's go.
Because she going deep right now.
I got to be honest, but my family member, I'm not going to say whatever, fuck her. My family member, I remember when I first got single, like back in 2014, she was like, I never saw you with the guy from Jackson State because I always saw you being like a basketball wife or a football wife, like an athlete's wife. Like, you deserve the best, and that's the best. You're here. You need a guy that's there. So for a long time, could I have a refill too, please? For a long time, I equated value to status. Like, oh, he's in character. Like, oh, he's a great guy because Jesus.
Yeah, he gave you 4 shots in that joint. He gave me 2, but I'm with it. I'm cool with it.
I felt like, oh, if I'm a popular Instagram girl, it's only right. If it's like being the popular cheerleader, I should date the star quarterback. And that was the mentality I had for a long time. Like,
Is this a situation of single women keep women single? I see now why she said F her family member. Because she gave her bad advice. That's terrible advice. Men don't think like that. Again, women taking advice from women who don't understand the male experience. That's only a recipe for disaster. Well, I'm glad she figured that out now, because
cares about their character. He's a starter. He makes $100 million. He was just in GQ. This is it. And after lots of life experiences, I realized I've always just wanted someone with their character. Cheerleader, I should date the star quarterback. And that was the mentality I had for a long time. Like, who cares about their character?
There it is. I'm glad she recognizes that now, because, again, that's very telling. I would say that there is some accountability on her part. Unfortunately, if she'd have realized it then, her chances would be a lot better today. But, I'm just happy she made the growth. Let's keep moving.
He's a starter. He makes $100 million. He was just in GQ. This is, and after lots of life experiences, I realized I've always just wanted someone genuine. That's why my first boyfriend was just a regular guy from college, and I was happy somewhat with him for a little bit. That's all I've ever wanted was someone genuine.
But
I don't feel that way now.
I don't believe you can go back though.
Damn. That's
no. Let me tell you why though. Because, okay, outside of the trainer guy. All right, so let's
he was fire.
Let's mine this out though. But let's mine this out though. Why did you break it off with him? Or did you break it off or did he break it off?
I did because
okay, why did you break it off?
I felt like I was prying to get responses from him, and I
What do you mean? What do you mean?
We were having a deep conversation about something.
Okay.
And it would take him 2 to 3 days to respond.
Yeah.
And I felt like if I'm a priority and you're claiming you want a relationship at some point, like you're not doing things that you see me as a fuck. So I felt like, oh, I know what type of time he's on. I've been here before.
Right.
We're both, let's just go with the flow. And now we're not going anywhere. And then now I'm looking at you like, why is it taking you 3 fucking days to text me back?
Yeah.
But I see you on fucking Instagram posting dumbass shit. So,
okay, well, let me tell you why I say you can't go back. Because I don't think it has anything to do with the status. My impression of you, personally.
I can't wait to hear this.
My impression of you personally is that you are not caught up with the money thing.
No.
It's not about money. It's not about status. And again, this is based off of both the book, you know what I'm saying, seeing you operating in different environments, and then also having conversations with you off camera, right? You are not the type of person that, from my perspective, as far as my experience with you, that's chasing money. You're not chasing.
Now, this is interesting because a couple of you guys in my comments have been saying the exact opposite. Guys, you know what? I'm starting to agree with Anton's assessment. Here's why. It's based on what she has actually said in the interview, not people's opinions. We're getting it from the horse's mouth, and I like Anton has been a pretty good judge of character up to this point. So I'm gonna have to lean on go with what he's saying, because this is what's making sense. Again, why should we trust Anton's assessment? Number one, he read her book. Instead of just watching gossip videos about her, he actually read her book and her thoughts are in there. So you get you get to hear a person's inner monologue when you read their autobiography. Number two, they've had multiple conversations off camera, which actually coincides with some of the stuff that she was hinting at earlier. She didn't directly say it, but a lot of what she has posted, the stuff that she says online and on camera, again, it's a persona. It's not the real her. So I think the problem that she's having right now is that she put up this front trying to be this person because it led to monetization of her social media, which means that, yeah, she's starting to get paid for being on social media. And let's be real here. If most women could get paid for social media, they do and say anything anyway, right? But now she's having issues because it's not who she really is. So I you know what, I'm starting to rock with Anton on this, because he's saying the pieces are starting to fall together here. You can't. It's hard to say that you're a gold digger when you leave a guy who's a multimillionaire to go sleep in your mom's bed with your baby in a 2-bedroom apartment. That doesn't make sense. It's hard to say you're a gold digger when I know from a more recent interview that she's not receiving child support. They haven't gone to court for that yet. So, I'm agreeing with Anton on this one. I got to rock with Anton.
Chasing men necessarily with money, but that's literally what you attract sometimes, right? But at the same time, you can't turn the faucet off, because similar to what you just said earlier, you said, what happens when I post this guy, right?
Ooh, that
because
makes
you
me
can't
anxious just thinking about it.
You can't unfamous yourself, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with the fact that oh, okay, well, she's chasing this thing or whatever, because I don't get that impression of you. I'm saying that you can't go and work at Target.
No, people.
You know what
make
I'm
fun of
saying?
me.
Like, she can't go back to regular as far as herself, which then impacts who it is that you associate yourself with. And so,
Right. She would have to go for a guy who does not want to be in the spotlight. That does not want to be on social media. I mean, and that not necessarily be like a stretch to find that guy though, because most of the time men we just don't value social media, not the same way women do, and trying to find that guy though. Well, you know what, Brittany, if you seeing this, it's hard to go wrong. Again, I keep saying this: it's hard to go wrong with the dime. Discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics. A guy who's self-disciplined, who has integrity, when he has all four, that guy's not going to care about. He's not going to be influenced through. He's not clout chasing, because even if he does get some visibility through social media, guys like that tend to be on their purpose, and the extra attention that comes from women, he won't have time for it. Now, I think this leads to a different conversation about men on their purpose, because we always hear that, right? YouTube talking point: "Oh, be on your purpose. Get on your purpose." The problem is that the majority of us keep thinking that our purpose is supposed to make us rich, and it's not the case. Most men on their purpose is actually the exact opposite. Their purpose is not supposed to make you rich. Controversial to controversy. It's a controversial topic, right? But that's the reality. Your purpose is not to get rich out here. Your purpose is always legacy in building it. That doesn't mean you're going to get rich though. Okay, we're going way off topic here. We have to say that for a money video.
I don't know how you solve for that though, because when I ask you and I say, okay, can you go and talk to the guy that's in corporate America that make $120,000 a year?
Absolutely.
That's what you want, or that's what you may be open to. But how do you know that he don't see you? How do you know he don't see you as I call you Britt? How you know he don't see you as Britt and he don't see you as Brittany Renner?
Or bundle with Brittany. That's even worse.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? How you know that he ain't fucking clout chasing on Instagram? How do you know that? And this is
You
the
guys
dilemma.
know, let me know.
This is the dilemma.
Here's the real question, Anton, if you're watching this. You have an extensive network of guys. Who do you think would be a good match for her? You always say it's supposed to come from your network. Well, she's in your network now. That's why the rubber meets the road there, because he's right. That guy, that corporate guy, you don't know. You're not going to know what his intentions are. But if he's in Anton's network, Anton would know his intentions, though. This is why network becomes so important, because it's another step. Number one, it's another step in the vetting process. See how that works now? Because this person comes pre-approved. So the only reason, and I'm only using Anton as an example because he's literally in the video, right? They know each other and they had conversations offline. So, that's just you can put that theory to test. But as far as I know, she's still single. So, yeah.
Right? That I look at
It's
from women with
fucked
visibility. But
It's
it is
fucked
fucked
up.
up, right?
That's why when I see you guys, I'm like, damn, like that shit is beautiful. Like, why can't that happen for me? Like,
Would you give it up, though? Would you give up the visibility, the fame,
why would I have to?
Well,
Well,
I'm using it.
After giving,
because you just said it. Guys are clout chasing. Well, if you give up the clout, there's nothing for them to chase.
so much away. Because
Right.
you have to think, in the book I talk about, I left and I gave away everything. And guess what? 10 years later, I did the same thing because, you know, I didn't learn the first time. Like, the first time could have been, okay, be your own person, make your own money. You don't have to lose yourself in a man. I thought I learned that.
Well, I don't believe that you should have to, but I'm using an extreme example to kind of illustrate a point, right? How bad do you want one thing over the other, right? Would you be willing to give up everything if you knew for a fact, now obviously none of us know for a fact what the future holds, but if you knew for a fact that this thing was going to end up in pajamas on Christmas every year and all of this other type of shit, would you be willing to give up all of this? Realistically, honestly, would you be willing to give up every fucking, because this is not just giving up the visibility. This is giving up everything that you fucking worked for your entire life, that you've overcome circumstances and obstacles and issues in order to build for yourself. Is that something that you think you could even do in this extreme example?
Give up everything?
Yeah.
Absolutely the fuck not. I would never do that.
Why?
I have a purpose. Like whatever people believe in, God, universe, creator, source, whatever. I'm just called to do certain things. I'm called to be in certain spaces. I'm called to take up space. And I, at one point, debated about, you know, when I got pregnant, deleting my social media and just, like, living a, like, go fuck yourself. None of you guys like me anyways.
Yeah.
I'm going to just have my family and I'm going to go. I couldn't do that because it wouldn't be me being my true self. Like, I am a big personality. I challenge these outdated societal norms, and I am a voice for a lot of people who are afraid to speak up. And
I'm sorry to say it, that's sad to hear. Well, let me hear what Anton has.
been through different shit. So to say, like, oh, could I give it all for love? Like, love is absolutely something that I want, but I can't deny myself.
Okay. We're not talking about love here. We're talking about marriage and family. And it's sad. It is sad to hear that because, again, what does that mean about the guy's purpose? Most men want to lead. And if the man is leading, that means you're following his game plan. Your purpose gets diminished because he has a purpose that he has to fulfill. And what you're doing by agreeing to marriage is you're saying that I'm willing to help you in your purpose. Well, if you can't give that up because you feel like your purpose is more important, that's why she's getting the guys that she gets. There it is. I don't think she realized it, but she just told on herself. This is why you're getting what you're getting, because you feel that she feels that her purpose is more important. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't complain about the results that you're getting. The guys that's what that is. I don't know, and if that's true, then I understand her perspective about outdated traditions. It's outdated for her because of where she wants to go. Good luck finding a guy who's going to be on board with that, because I don't know many that will. That doesn't mean it can't happen. And like I said, I'm assuming that she makes enough to be able to sustain herself to the end of life. So there is the good news in that. But it's interesting what that's going to look like, if she's 30 now, what that's going to look like 20 years from now. Because, you're basically, she said it herself, she's the prototype Instagram girl. Okay, but looks fade. How are you going to monetize your social media after your looks have faded? Because Instagram is very important to her, but Instagram is, that's a fleeting thing. Maybe she's starting a podcast. Maybe that's what it is. But even then, you still got the same issue. I wish her, hopefully it'll work out for her and she won't be as, well, you know what? Instead of me saying that, let me say this. Maybe she will discover blaze a new trail on relationship types. And because again, like I said, this is a growing problem. There are a lot of women out here just like her that are coming behind her. The generation behind her, 4, probably about 5 to 10 years behind her, who are living the same lifestyle that she was. What's the future for these? Because these are our daughters out here. So what? She may find some new thing that helps produce similar results to nuclear marriage and nuclear family as far as raising kids. We don't know. Unfortunately, it's a long term project, I guess you could call it, and we won't see the results for at least a couple of years. So, but at least she's documented, and we can go and we can actually review it in places like this, right? So, guys, I'm gonna say goes to the next time. 600 subscribers. Let's go.